Hi there, I'm Riley Pankow, and this is my digital project for English 102 in the spring semester 2024. For my research, I wanted to look at social media and mobile phone usage in high schoolers, so ages 14 to 18. Um, so what made me want to look into this? Well, I've got a brother who's a senior in high school this year, and I didn't graduate too long ago myself. So I see it I see it a lot in the world today. Just about anywhere you go, you can go out to eat, you can go out, out in public anywhere. People hanging out just with friends, even in relationships. Everyone's just always on their phone, and most of the time they're on some sort of social media. So I wanted to look into why that is. So when I first started doing my research, I found this term that I had not heard before, but I've since become a little bit more familiar with, which is nomophobia. Nomophobia. So it's a newer term. It's not anything official. It's just kind of like a mashup word that people have created in the past few years, which is no mobile phone phobia, which is people who are so addicted to their phones, when they go without it, they don't seem to know how to act. They go a little crazy, they get a little loopy, and kind of get like withdrawal symptoms almost. So I thought that was kind of concerning that social media and just phone addiction has become so normalized, that we're creating terms to come up with like explanations for people who can't go without it. So for my first piece of research, I looked at an article by Dr. Mehmet Kara from the Participatory Education Research Group. And so their study, they took 584 adolescent social media users and really tried to just test out their usage, see what it showed. So their research came back showing that obviously smartphone use is very prevalent in kids. If they had enough to make just a sample size of 584 people with people that they found locally, it's very easy to find. And so this article is where I actually learned about the term nomophobia and found out how normalized it is. So their research and their findings came out to show that kids, as their phone usage goes up more and their social media usage goes up more, these symptoms of nomophobia keep on just getting higher and higher and higher, which is really concerning to see as more and more kids are using their phones for more and more things. They're getting really dependent on them and need them for everything they do in their lives, which is pretty scary. Moving on, I looked at another article from this website called Connections Academy. So I really liked their article. They talked a lot about specifically social media usage and its negative downsides. But not only just the addiction downsides, but what can happen from social media itself. So they opened up by talking about why these social media apps are so popular. So they talked a lot about how there's so many different social medias, they can cater to just about what anyone wants. You think about it, there's Twitter, X, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all of these things. There's something out there for everyone. So all this stuff just dominates mass media consumption. And a lot of it's owned by just one company. Like when you think about Facebook, who owns Instagram. So they also go on to say, Connections Academy does, that 97% of teens today are admitting that they are using the internet at least once a day. 97%. Now I understand that the internet use is just becoming more and more normalized, but that just seems out of this world to me. So Connections Academy goes on to say that these apps are actually destined and they're designed to be addictive. Now why is that though? So we look at some things that, like their simple UI, very easy user interface, I should say. Like Instagram, you make an account, you just sit there and you scroll. You scroll, you scroll, you scroll. So another thing with that, we'll go back to Instagram, we see these like instant gratifications through things like likes, comments, shares, all that stuff, which is fun, it's nice, it's good, but it can create bad habits, especially in young impressionable teens like kids in high school or even younger. There is endless potential. Like you go on TikTok and you scroll on your For You page, you will never, ever, ever hit the bottom. Stuff like that, it's really just, it's hard to stop when you know, oh, there's something I haven't seen. What about this? What about that? What about that? What about that? That can create habits like doom scrolling, or just scrolling and losing track of time, and just hours go by and you've done nothing but sit there and scroll on your phone. So going back to that endless potential, we see another reason why these social media apps draw kids in, and everyone in, I should say, is these algorithms that they show you what you want to see. So when you like a video, when you send a video of a funny fail to a friend, the app sees that, they recognize what you did, and they say, okay, you like that, we'll show you some more of that. And they hook you, they get you to come back in, and they never stop. So it's just stuff like that that really makes social media so dangerously addictive. And it gets teens hooked, especially high schoolers, and it gets them really using their phones and not getting off. So Connections Academy then finishes off their article talking about how even though social media addiction is not like an actual real medical condition, it still definitely can have some negative downsides and create bad habits, especially in young, impressionable people like high school age students. So some of these things it can lead to are like depression, anxiety, stress. It can lower your self-esteem. When you're on Instagram and you're scrolling, you see models and all these edited pictures. This really can create a lot of unrealistic body expectations, or which can lead to unhealthy eating habits, or just unhealthy habits in general, which can lead to a lot of damage to your body and a lot of trouble, especially when you're that young and you need things to develop. So in conclusion, we see that social media and just mobile phones as a whole do really have a really strong grip on high school age students, and there's a lot of addiction. I think it's just, there's no diagnosis for it, but I think we see a lot of signs of addiction in a big majority of the youth today, especially whether it be outside of high school or not. I think it's a big problem, and I think it's something that really needs to be looked into more and studied more, and we need to create solutions and different opportunities for kids other than just going to their phone for anything they need. Well, thank you very much. Good morning. In case I don't see you again, good evening, good afternoon, and good night.